What's up, y'all? This is Paco. Look, I want to talk to as many Ron Paul supporters as I can. So if you're listening, you support Ron Paul, turn this up as loud as you can. Just hear me out real quick because I think it's really important and that needs to be spread around. Look, if you're a Ron Paul supporter, why are you a Ron Paul supporter? Because you more likely know that the root of the problem is what? The Federal Reserve. Okay? It's safe to say that the majority of Ron Paul supporters know that. This is why we support him. The Federal Reserve is the root of the problem. What do we tell Occupy Wall Street? The banks are the symptom. The Federal Reserve is the root. Now, this message is out there, but it's not out there enough. And why is that? Because of the mainstream media. Okay? We know that these wars are bankrupting our country. We know that they're illegal. We know that people are dying. Innocent people are being killed, our side and the other side. Now, this information is out there, but not enough. And why is that? Excuse me. And why is that? Why is it not out enough? Because the mainstream media. We know the TSA is breaking our freedoms. That information's out there, but not enough. Why? Because of the mainstream media. You see, the American people are not stupid. You see, the American people choose to be stupid. See, you and me, we're going to go and look for information. We're going to look at all these news articles, things that aren't covered on the media, things that only spoke about a couple minutes and never heard about again. We're going to look this stuff up. That's why we know. It isn't like we're geniuses. It isn't like Ron Paul's a genius. It's like once you learn this shit, you realize it's just common sense. You know what I'm saying? That's all you got to do is pay attention and wake up to what's going on. But see, the majority, the masses, the people, they don't know that. They only know talking points. They only know what they saw in the headlines. So that's the thing. We have to occupy the media. We have to get in. We have to change what is being said on TV, what's being aired on TV. So here's what I was thinking. I was sitting back thinking like, look, what can we do to really make a difference? Because I'm going to tell you right now, if you really think Ron Paul came in fourth place in Florida, you don't realize how crooked this government is. There's no way Ron Paul is in fourth place. I mean, I don't even think he was in second or third. But even if he was, he definitely wasn't in fourth place. So what are they doing? They're rigging the elections. They're rigging the machines. Now, we know the caucuses are coming up, and it's harder for them to rig that, and he may even win those. But, okay, look at the schedule. You know what I'm saying? If you look at the schedule, the primary schedule, towards the end or later on in the month, it's a long list of primaries. And if I'm not mistaken, that means that there are no caucuses. People are just going to vote and they leave it. So who's counting the votes? Who's handling the machines? The powers that be, of course, and they're changing it. The caucuses are harder because you got to be there for a certain amount of time, a couple hours. The real supporters come out. But at these primaries, it's so much easier for them to rig it. So it doesn't matter how much, to an extent, it doesn't even matter how much support we give them, how much money we give them. Because it's all about the perception, because they're only going to let him get so much publicity, so much momentum. But here's the thing. If you look at your news, wherever you live at, whether you live in Pittsburgh, whether you live in New York, whether you live wherever, San Antonio, Austin, wherever, we all live close to or in a major city area. Most of us do. And in every one of those areas, there's an affiliate. There's an affiliate for ABC, there's an affiliate for NBC, Fox, and it may not be all three in every area, but there's one of those guaranteed in these major areas, and probably even in smaller areas. So what we got to do is, we Occupy Wall Street want to occupy Wall Street and the banks, which I'm all for that. I consider myself part of 99%. But unfortunately, Occupy Wall Street is just agreeing that they're all upset, but they're not agreeing on what to be upset about. And so I got to go where the answers are. Ron Paul has the answers. And so they occupy Wall Street. We need to occupy the media. You know what I'm saying? We need to. If you live in New York, if you live near the headquarters, Atlanta, CNN, New York, or with the ABC, I think NBC, then yeah, obviously you need to go to the top of go to the head, basically the face. That's where you need to go. But if you live in the small areas outside where they don't have those, you need to go to the affiliates. And everybody occupy those. And what occupy Wall Street? I mean, Ron Paul supporters are devoted. We want Ron Paul to be president no matter what. We'll do anything just about. So right here, there's no excuse. Because just about no matter where you live, just about, you can make it to one of those affiliates. You can get a ride once we grow, once we get bigger. And if all those people are occupying these media outlets, Each one. At first, you can start with one of them in your area, but then get all of them if we got enough people. And once that spreads nationwide, you see, this is something that's very hard for them to knock down. It's very hard for them to act like it doesn't exist, because when the actual media, where the cameras are, where the studios are, when they're getting occupied every day to the point where it's like 24/7, and we ain't stopping, and we're demanding that Ron Paul gets more coverage. And you know, I'll go over more demands on my Facebook page that I'm trying to direct everybody to at the bottom, but demands like we want paper ballots, you know, fair elections. We want Ron Paul to get the fair coverage. I mean, I want you to think of something. Imagine that all the times you heard Mitt Romney about his taxes and Newt Gingrich about, you know, his wives. How many times the media replay that shit? Over and over and over till your brainwashed. Now imagine if it was Ron Paul, if they were talking about Ron Paul getting the military donations more than anybody else. You know, or imagine if they reported all of Ron Paul's straw poll wins. This dude is winning all the straw polls, and no, they ain't even reporting this at all. I mean, I'm not seeing any reports about it except online. So imagine if that was played over and over and over again. I mean, you know, all these things that you hear constantly about Mitt Romney and Newt Gingrich, imagine if it was about Ron Paul. The perception would change. There'd be so many people that would have to, there'd be so many people that would follow us. You know, because again, Americans aren't stupid, they just choose to be stupid. When we're all smart, we all got a brain, we all capable of critical thinking. It's just that a lot of us choose to watch sports and care about the Redskins and the Cowboys and the entertainment and all this shit that don't matter. And so they all these other things that we try to bring to them, they don't really pay attention long enough for it to stick. And see, that's what we have to do, is tap into the media. Every mainstream media outlet, every ABC affiliate, NBC, CBS, Fox, CNN, we occupied them, and we occupy them with the Ron Paul signs. We want fair Ron Paul coverage. We can even start making more demands as it goes. But and then another thing is start talking about the Fed. We want them to talk about the Federal Reserve more, because we know the Fed is the root problem. And see, I was thinking, when I was thinking about this whole Occupy thing, I always felt like Occupy Wall Street should have really been going to Occupy the Fed, and that everybody should have found out where all the district banks were and go there and demand the chairman to come out. And I'm still down with that. But the thing is, when I sit back and I look at everything that's going on, you see, everybody got ideas on how we're going to get delegates, and we're going to do this, we're going to raise more money, we're going to do the Ron Paul blimp. And I'm down with everything, because I've been down with everything. I've been donating to everything, just about. So my thing is, all this stuff that we're doing is taking time. You know, going, Ron Paul says run for office. I'm down with that too. But all these things take time and generate, you know, for people to come together. But when we all occupy the media, we all occupy the mainstream media, once the information changes on the airwaves, things will start to change overnight. Not the things that are going on in the country, the perception, the mind state, the knowledge, you know, the education of the majority of people will automatically change, man. Imagine Russia Today was aired on Fox, CNN, and MSNBC. Instead of those channels, it was Russia Today all day, every day, playing what I see online when they're talking about the wars, all the protests. Imagine if that was played over and over and over again. And that's what we have to get. And we have to stop. So to me, you know, Ron Paul says, we want to do everything locally. Freedom brings people together. Well, let's take freedom, bring all of us together. We all come together locally. We ain't got no excuse now. We all on the street. If you work 8 to 5, cool. Then whenever you off work, you show up 2-3 times a week. When you show up, everybody do their part. You know, as long as you can look in the mirror and say you're doing what you can, and nobody can judge you, no one can say anything. But at the end of the day, we need to occupy the media every day. We need Ron Paul to win. It ain't a question no more. I'm going crazy over watching this news, seeing this shit every day. You know, they're not going to let him win. As no matter how good we caucus, how good they do these primaries, there's going to be confrontation. You know, the only way is if there's a mass amount of people. I mean, masses. And to me, it needs to start at the media more than anywhere, because that's somewhere we could be every day. They can't move their buildings. Even if they do, we'll just move right with them. You know, and then think about this. You do it locally, there might be issues that come up locally that have to do with what Ron Paul talks about. And we can start representing the people that's getting affected locally and start standing up for them. And then the locals will start loving you more, listening to you more, and more people will come together. Like we said, freedom brings us together. The media don't want the revolution televised. They say it won't be televised. I say, fuck that. It is going to be televised, because that's going to make it come faster. I ain't going to be 60, 70 years old waiting for this shit to happen, man. This is ridiculous. So anyways, I've been going on longer than I wanted. It's almost 10 minutes up. So if you took the time to listen, I appreciate it. Thanks. Please spread the link, spread the word. And let's do what we can. Occupy the media, man. Holla at me. Peace.